Are you nervous? Oh.
I'm good. Hello, everyone. I'm not nervous. I'm more like centering myself because Emily is super intuitive, so she can pick up on it.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad that she's joining me today, and she's part of the Singularity Storytelling Summit. Her story is amazing. We've been working since, was it
April?
April? Yeah, April 2016. And I met Emily through Periscope, and I was following her scopes, and she did daily oracle readings, and I was like, I really like her. And then we just became friends on Facebook, and then I was doing the Singularity Circle at the time, and I was like, I think Emily would be really good in the circle, or just like coaching, because I know you were in transition to being a digital nomad, and I was like, I'm kind of over the digital nomad thing, but I can help you if you want to do it. So then we started coaching one-on-one, and then now you're in the circle, and then now you're in the summit. So it's like all this evolving happening. And tell me, because this is your time to shine, how you use your gift of intuition and developing your psychic abilities and all that like fun right brain stuff. To play in that and then build a business around that and then use technology to empower others to do the same.
Yeah. Okay. So hi, I'm Emily Stroya. So thank you, Isabel, for introducing me and for having me here. I'm so excited to be here with you and just be able to evolve so organically with you and with the circle. And it's been such a phenomenal experience because you give me so much clarity on what I'm doing. Because I remember when I first came to you, I was just like, I don't know what to do. I have all this stuff in my head. So working with you has just been able for me to sort of balance out the right brain, my intuitive side, and the business side. So yeah. But as far as like how this all happened, I've always been like really intuitive since I was a kid, and I really feel like everyone has that gift of intuition or that sixth sense about things, and it's something that I sort of naturally just kind of used as my compass growing up. And I grew up in a really like, abusive home, so it was something that I had to sort of rely on out of feeling safe. And a lot of my students, a lot of them actually will share that in my Facebook group and in classes, how their intuition kind of happened to them, like it just grew out of an experience, or it grew out of something that may have been a transition in their life, or a loss, or a trauma, or something. So for me, it was something that just kind of happened to be there a lot, guiding me as a child. And then as I grew older, I didn't really know that was intuition. I was just like, oh yeah, I'm getting these feelings. Like I have this feeling about something, or I get this impression of something in the future, and then it happens. And I'm just like, that was weird. So then when I was in the military, I started really meditating more and getting more into self-development and personal growth, and I started becoming very curious about psychics and intuitives, and like, what is this magical world that they live in? Like, how come I'm not in that magical world? Like, I want to be there. So I went to like my first psychic, and it was very interesting. I was really just drawn to like the magic of all of it. Like, this is fun. It's like playing in like fairyland or something. And then I started taking psychic development classes and intuitive development classes in my early 20s, like 21, I think, or 22. And I enrolled in this 2-year program after my first class, and I just like fell in love with it. It was just like so phenomenal that you have this gift inside of you, and you could feel things about people, and you can get these impressions from this unknown place that's totally not logic or rational thinking. It's just this external sort of energy that exists with you. And also, so that's kind of the short summary of the intuitive. And then I started doing a lot of workshops in the city here in New York, teaching and just kind of breaking out of my shell, because I sort of felt selfish in a way. Like I knew all of these things, but I didn't feel like it was meant for me to just keep it to myself.
Ah.
Yeah, there were so many, people that I would meet and friends and just, acquaintances, and they would always ask me like, how do I develop it, or how do I tap into that? Or I've always felt like I have that. Um, and I just felt so selfish. Like I really, this should be like out there, like in the world, like
Yeah.
people need to know about this.
Yes.
And then that's when I started my workshops in New York, and then that was good for a while. And then I started kind of, the flow stops after a while because people get busy here, and you also get busy. So that's how then I merged to the online world after I realized there was an online world. I was like, there's an online world? Like I can do this online? Wow, this is amazing. But I won't lie, when I ran my first Facebook ad, I was terrified. So terrified. I didn't sleep all night.
Oh.
I was like, oh my God, my face is going to be there with like the spiritual people. They're going to know who I am now.
Yes, the fear of the visibility comes up, and then you're like,
yeah, I think that was one of the first things you and I had talked about was my fear of visibility, and you're like, that's okay, we'll get you there.
Yes. And now you're just like on the summit right now, and your face is on it, and it was on the page, and it's okay, because the thing that we talk together about, and with all the clients that I work with, I'm like, you're already there.
Yeah.
You have stuff that people need that would transform their life, and you holding it in and hiding is, like you said, it's like I find out all this stuff, but I don't want to be selfish.
Yeah, it's not even that. It's just it feels strange to just have it to yourself.
Yeah.
For some people it's okay, like one-on-one, but after a while you're just kind of like, maybe it needs to reach a larger scale. Maybe there's more people who want to know, and it's always like phenomenal to see how there's always a new light bulb that goes off.
Yes.
And
I think you caught a really good thing there with there's a right time for everything. You were doing the workshops, and then the flow kind of stopped, and then online world, and then the flow a little bit stopped, but it didn't stop, but you were ready for a next level.
Yeah.
And then the Facebook ad, and the next level, and it keeps continuing to grow.
It's quite an interesting experience, branching from the offline world to the online, which is such a different atmosphere. Like it's so different. There's this engagement in a certain way that's not the same as like in person, because there's so many things that are just easier to understand from in person, right? But being online, there's so many different facets involved, from your photograph to the way you talk to the terminology you use to just the way that you present yourself to the world. And the same thing offline, but I think you sort of skip a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
People get a feel for you like immediately just from seeing you like physically in person.
Yes.
Whereas online, there's like this sort of building of a relationship, that takes time.
Yes. Because we're not there as a collective where we can all be singularity stories yet. Where who you are inside is who you are outside is who you are online.
Yes.
And you can immediately make that connection and be like, oh, I saw you on Periscope, and I immediately made the connection with you. Like, yeah, I get who you are. And then I see your post, and like, that's who she is. And there's no difference there.
Yeah.
There's no layers that I have to go through. It's like, no, we're all equal. Yeah. They all have cool things to do. And then Jesse in the previous talk was talking about how it's this shift from competition in business to collaboration.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah. So I love that you brought that up.
Yeah, and when I first started out as an intuitive in the business, like as my career, there's a lot of competition with light workers for some reason. For some strange reason. I was like, we're all doing the same thing though. Like, your gifts aren't better than mine. Like, this isn't like who's got the better superpower.
Exactly.
It's more just like you're doing what you're doing. I'm doing what I'm doing. And I think now, it's definitely shifting to how can we work together for the same goals rather than like who's going to one up who.
Yes, the power play stuff. And it's like, we don't need to do that. It's not necessary. I kind of equate it to, in the offline space, cars are cars, but there are different car companies and they all have different designs, they all have different colors,
Yes.
but it's still a car.
Still gonna get you to where you need to go.
Exactly. And then hopefully, right? And that's the thing, that's when the pricing stuff comes up, the quality stuff comes up, and that's where, we have the current models that we're playing in society.
Yeah.
So we're still playing with that in online space. But when people kind of strip away those stories, those conditioned things, then we're like, oh, hold on, I'm still selling a car, or I'm still teaching people how to tap into their intuition, or I'm still helping people get their story out there and embody their story. This is the same thing. And then you lose that fear of competition because we are super abundant.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, we're just all part of the same process.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
co-creators of the universe.
Exactly. And you're the teacher of that. So every time I work with you, I'm still learning things from you. It's an equal, an exchange.
True, right. Yeah.
So
I always feel so, because I think when I started out, I was your coaching client, and I always felt like I was learning so much from you. And then I realized, I was like, maybe I'm teaching her some things too.
Yes. It's the thing. We're all learning from each other, and that's why the circle exists, because it's a circle and it's not a pyramid.
I love that. I love the circle. It's been so great, so refreshing to be part of all these wonderful women who are so powerhouses of information, and it's so cool.
I know, right? I
it's
feel
really inspiring.
I'm super lucky to have the job I have.
You really are. Like, there aren't a lot of people that are doing what you're doing on the online space here, which is interesting. Like, I feel like I see so many coaches who just talk about like making 100K or this or that, but they're not talking about like this universal message of growth and personal development and finding your story and really branching out into your light. And that's what I think always like sort of drew me to you, is that you just were able to sort of bring that out in someone without promising them a blueprint to a 6-figure income tomorrow, or how are we going to get your next 20K coaching client? Like, everyone's selling that.
Yes. And I'm like, it's a copy of a copy of a copy. And I'm like, but the distinguishing factor is your story, and that's your selling point. I can't give you a blueprint of your story because you're the
I can't give you a sample.
So I love this. And not to say that your finances haven't increased and your community hasn't increased. So moving back to your gift and how you're now, scaling, transitioning, what kind of things have you been experiencing now that you've transitioned into tech space and the tools that you use to get there?
Yeah, so when I first started, I decided just to do like an on-the-whim test launch for a psychic development course earlier in the year, like mid-January. And my list, it was like it was fine, I didn't really do a lot of growing for years online because I was turned off by it. So, and then I was like, what is wrong with me? Like, get out there, enough. But I started off with just doing like webinars, and I liked doing Periscope. That was where things kind of grew just naturally. Periscope is just such a great free marketing tool. Like, how much more genius can you get with that?
Right.
So it's amazing. Like, it's just phenomenal. But that was just cool to be able to break out of my shell and be on video, like be live video streaming. And I really started pushing myself more, like, okay, come on, you can do this, and move to the webinars. And that was fun because it was like teaching a workshop offline, but online, and having people come from all over the world. So the webinars were this really just interesting breaking the ice into the online world. And then I had my launch. We had 16 students, and that was, I didn't even know nearly half of what we did in this launch the second time around. Like early bird and expiration dates and sales pages and
I remember, and you're like, wait, hold on, like, let's revamp this in the steps again, because you know how I am. I'm like, boom, 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 and you're like, wait. I'm like, hold on.
Can we slow down? Wait a minute.
But it was an amazing experience. And like, tell us
Yeah.
about that process, because then you learn
Yeah.
so much from that, and
Oh
then you
my
kind of
God.
like are creating, like we're co-creating your new process right now.
Yes, yes, yes. And then, so after that first launch, we met, we talked, figure out strategy, and then we did the second launch, and I had, before that, I created a mini course for people for Periscope. Actually, I went on Periscope and I asked people. I think you were on there, weren't you?
Yeah.
When I was asking people, like, what are you interested in, like free opt-ins and stuff, because I really wanted to give people something that they could use and like help them.
Yeah.
And that was the mediumship mini course. So I decided I would test some Facebook ads, like a little bit, not too much. And then they were converting so well. I was like, wow, this is amazing. They convert better than webinars. So, and then that was just a slow process of like playing with Facebook ads and then running webinars where people were coming in and just seeing my teaching style and seeing the content that I was creating. And then we did an early bird launch, which you and I had decided on.
Yeah.
And that was great. We ended up getting so many students from just sort of the natural flow of Periscope and the webinars, Facebook ads, and my email, just marketing. And we ended up getting like over 50 something students just in the early bird.
Yeah.
And then we had like maybe an extra 10 more like after the early bird. So overall, we ended up having like 60 something, 63, 64 students who enrolled in the second launch. And I was so overwhelmed. I was like, I thought we were going to get like maybe 25.
Yes.
But then I was like, oh my God, I need an assistant. Oh my God. Like I messaged you like, Isabel, I'm freaking out. There's so much happening right now.
All this like growth and up leveling and things.
Yes. And that was another thing that happened was when I up leveled to this next stage of my online growth and just community building, I also got some really mean emails.
Yeah.
There was a lot of support. So many people were so excited and they loved the mini course. And the mini course changed so many people's lives. Just this free video course was just amazing. Like the amount of feedback I've gotten from that course, it literally was just magic. Like it was supposed to be out into the world.
And that was the free mediumship course. So because I know you grab people's attention right now, where can they get this mediumship course that's free?
So that is on my website. If you go. Oh my God. Wait, did something happen here?
Oh, I think there was a delay. Okay, we're back now.
Oh, okay. So I was like, wait, where did it go? So that's on my website. All you have to do is just go to emilystroya.com and there's literally like a pop-up that says grab the mediumship course. It literally shows up immediately and you just type in your name and then you get the mini course and that's it.
Beautiful.
So it's simple. But yeah, that course, I was just in shock at how much a free opt-in can really like change people's lives. Like something that is of value that people want or looking for, and that you're not just like giving them the power, you're giving them the keys to find it.
Yes.
Like that's what's the best part, is that I'm not here like trying to take you away your power or say like, oh, because I'm a medium that I know everything. Like I'm here to show you the tools so that you can find it yourself. And that's what's so important to me.
Yep.
So yeah.
I like that. You didn't give them a blueprint. You gave them tools so they can create their own process. And
exactly.
You share your journey, and you're giving them just some tools that helped you.
Yeah.
And then they're creating their own journey. And then I remember reading in Intuitive Soul group, that's Emily's Facebook group, the different feedback that people were doing.
Yeah.
And I remember listening, I think it was in your third video, the meditation.
I know that one's at the end. There's a couple of ones before that are just prepping you for that.
Yeah, I think because you know how I am, just like go to the thing.
Yeah, I don't want this. I'm skipping to the end.
It's not the good thing, I mean, not that the other stuff wasn't good too, but I was like in the midst of everything. But I sat down one morning and I listened to the final meditation, And then all this stuff came up for me that I know I should listen to it again, but I did take notes and I journaled about like what came through to me. And I was like, oh my God, if this was just one video, one piece of content that created so much value for me, and then I start seeing this ripple effect in your Facebook group that's transforming these other people's lives from maybe they just did the one video, maybe they did the full course.
Yeah.
But you've brought in and shifted their awareness and their consciousness about their own.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always like a humbling experience. I'm never like not surprised. Like in my work, I feel like every day I'm constantly humbled and surprised. Every day. And I think that's the best part about being a spiritual teacher, but being a spiritual entrepreneur is that you can merge both worlds. You don't have to pick one. You don't have to, it's not bad to be an entrepreneur and it's not bad to be a light worker. You can have both, what's that phrase? I can't think of the word, but you can have them both.
Yeah.
And it can be, and I think that's something that I notice a lot of light workers struggle with, is that you have this gift, but it's hard to merge both. It's hard to merge the left brain with the right brain because you're living in this spectrum all the time of just sort of channeling information. And I'm learning the balance between it both, and it's nice. It's good.
Yeah.
It's refreshing.
And what were some of the, because then you shifted, you're using different technology. What kind of technological tools are you playing with now that you're enjoying, that you're bringing and you're crafting community online?
So we have our Facebook group, the Intuitive Soul group, and that is growing really nicely. I haven't even been running Facebook ads lately. I'm just sort of taking a break from that. It's like, that's enough for now.
Yes.
Thank you, universe. Namaste.
Yes.
So the Facebook group has been refreshing because it's a support place for people to connect and share their stories and talk about their gifts, and they feel safe there and they feel not judged. And they can just sort of play and talk about crystals and fun, good stuff. And so that's good because it's been growing really nicely on its own now. And we're at like 1,700 members, which is great because at the beginning of this year, we only had like 200. Ooh. And I was starting to feel like really like, maybe I should get rid of this group.
Good you didn't.
Yeah, it's hard to get engagement sometimes in the beginning. It's hard to get what you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So we have the Facebook group now. I'm on Periscope sometimes, but over the summer it's been kind of slow because I've been working on these courses. And then now I'm thinking about playing with live video, not just like the webinar style where you're like on video and people can ask questions through the chat.
Yes.
I want to move to like actual live interactive video. So what we're going to be doing with the advanced mediumship course in August is we're going to be actually incorporating live video where the students can see each other while we're also doing the webinar. So they can have the content in front of them, but they can also like see each other, talk to each other, and like actually have a teacher there like, hey!
Yes.
So that's what's fun is I think the students love this interactive live element to it. Like it's not just a course they buy and they do it like on their own time, but they can actually have someone there like instructing them while they get through it.
Yeah. I know for different tools and things, because as entrepreneurs, we're continually learning and growing, and technology is always shifting and changing beneath our feet. For me, the tools that I've been playing with, and a new one that I've been playing with that I think I'm on to you with the class and everything, is Facebook groups, MailChimp, ConvertKit.
Yeah.
I think a few of the other circle members are using Aweber. I know you're using Lead Pages.
Yeah, I use Lead Pages like to have like my webinar just on a page and it looks crafted nicely. ConvertKit's more for email support and autoresponders and like funnels and things like that. So that's easy for me. I had MailChimp, but I started not liking them after a while. And I was like, okay, I'm not doing this anymore. So I'm testing ConvertKit out now. And it's okay so far. It's not too bad. So ConvertKit, Lead Pages, the Facebook groups, doing live videos is important. Just having that interaction with people, I think, is what's really important.
Yeah.
Did I miss anything?
Well, the one that I think we're both excited about because we just started using it in the Singularity Circle is Zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're like, Zoom! It's
Zoom!
been around for like,
For
like I've been
forever.
hearing about it for a while now, but I'm just like, yeah, the Zoom train.
Yeah, right. So I'm on the Zoom train now because for the last couple of years I've been using Mailchimp, Facebook, YouTube, Google Hangouts like this, Periscope, the app on my phone. But now you could do Facebook Live from your phone in your group.
Yes, there's so much. You can
There's
do everything.
right, all these things, and I think sharing part of like all of these tools that we use kind of shares the behind the scenes of what it takes
Yes.
to be creating. Like, if it was so difficult to show up like this in real life, I think everybody would just be staying inside. Like all of the work that you have to do to be a conscious and mindful entrepreneur and human being. You know.
Oh my god! It's like, oh my god! It's like nobody understands this world that I live in. Like my friends and families, I'm like, I'm working a lot today. Like,
I know.
They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, I have to type up several emails to follow up with this template and this technology, and this is what you wear like 7 hats as an entrepreneur. And at some point, I'm not going to wear 7 hats, but maybe I'll just wear 1 or 2.
Yeah.
But for now, like you do have, there's a lot of that goes into the process of detail and mindset and perspective and what people want, what you want to give, and new information that comes to you, and the inspiration, that new content that just gets dumped into your head sometimes. Like you just have to keep evolving.
Yes, it totally is an evolving process, and I think sharing all these tools will help others that are, you know, watching the replay or hi live viewers.
Yes.
To say, hey, you know, if you really are invested in becoming a singularity storyteller, a creative artist, a creative entrepreneur, a radically conscious, self-expressed human being, it's gonna take some work. And I mean,
it is. It's not easy.
And it's not just the external, like learning the technology, also, right, the internal work that we're doing ourselves, like the fear of visibility. The fear, like the procrastination that comes up with us, and then the procrastination is masked by fear.
And I think one of the biggest ones is the fear of rejection.
Oh, yes.
You know, like it's hard. Because you're like, do I have what it takes to be an entrepreneur, but also a conscious-minded one at that? You know?
Yeah.
And how do I do that? Like, how do I get my message out there without people thinking I'm trying to scam them or something, or take their money? Like, you know, there's so many people who think these things.
Yes, because either in the past that has happened, or people are using fear and manipulation and old paradigm marketing tactics to do that. So it leaves this yucky
bitter
feeling.
Taste.
The bitter feeling in your mouth, like, ooh, am I one of those guys? I don't want to be one of those guys.
Yeah, no, but I had that realization a while back when I first moved into this. I was like, but I'm not one of those people. So that's it. Like, I do webinars. I give a lot of content away, and there's a good, I feel, exchange of energy. Like, there's this element of content that will help people, and then there's also the paid content, and then there's the message and how these things can help them change their lives, but also change other people's lives. Like students of mine now are telling me about stories and how they've taken my course, and then that in itself has helped open up their gifts, and that's also shifted someone else's life. And so there's this, like, you know, expanded effect, like ripple effect of just this energy of a legacy of like changing the consciousness of a person and maybe helping them see life differently. Or see themselves differently.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, you're doing the inner work that before, like, they don't do with me. Well, we do a little bit of it, but not really. I just tell people what to do.
Yeah, you're good. You're good at the managing and orchestrating and directing. Like,
but you teach people what you don't teach them. You give them tools to uncover it themselves, and then realize when they're practicing it in real life, like, oh wow, I'm actually shifting consciousness around me by me doing the work internally first.
Yeah.
Which is huge. because
Yeah.
I always then when I tell people like I don't know what I'm here to do, I'm like go to Emily. Just go to Emily, do her mediumship course, and you'll figure it out. And then like when the emotional stuff comes up, I'm like go to Lisa, go to
Yeah.
Skylar, and then after they do that, then they need the confidence. I'm like go to Jessie, you know.
Like we're our little like mystic community of sisters, like
Yes.
each in their own element of doctor, like good, like it's great.
Absolutely. And I feel like the work that I'm doing is it's almost like and I mentioned this with Jessie, it's like a human sales funnel. Each
Yeah, sure.
individual person is contributing to the evolving
Mm-hmm.
of our tribes, of our audience. And by the time like they're through with going through all the stuff that we've learned,
Yeah.
they become one of the other like Singularity Storyteller leaders. They're
Yeah.
conscious. They're learning about the technology, how they can share their message, how they can be conscious and radically self-expressed. And then we're like, okay, we did our job.
Yeah, we just kind of get them through. It's like boot camp. Like
yes, and you have that experience because you've gone through it.
Yeah, that's why like when you go through these processes, it's like a boot camp, an initiation stage, and then you get to that place where you feel rooted and grounded, and you're like, yes, this is my message to the world. This is who I am.
Yes. Oh, so good. Oh, so great to have you on the summit, and of course to have you in the circle and just be seeing your community growing and the work that you're doing impact so many people. Or not impact, I don't like that word. You're transforming a lot of people. Impact is more tough.
Yeah.
So how can people, if they want to work with you or they want to attend one of your webinars or classes or we didn't even mention it, but you have a few books out too.
Yeah.
You know, like she has this whole collection of goodness and she's like, it's still just on her site. But it's getting out there. It's getting out there.
It's getting out there.
Where can people find you and connect with you and learn more about their own intuitive and spiritual gifts?
Yeah. Okay. So people can go to emilystroya.com and there's the opt-in that pops up right away if you want to get the mediumship mini course, which is the free course. On there you can find like my books and if you want to book an appointment with me or just shoot me an email, things like that. And then the intuitivesoulschool.com is my school. So that's where all the courses are. And that's also where my books kind of show up on the front page and things like that. So that's more like the education website. Yeah. Like that's where I put all of the resources and the content and information people can find for development and self-growth. So
beautiful. Any final words of wisdom for somebody that wants to become a Singularity Storyteller?
Just take the leap. It's going to be fine. Trust me. That's all I have to say. Just take the leap. It's better when you take the leap than when you're standing on the edge, like wondering, should I jump or not? Should I go for it?
Yeah, totally. All right. Well, thank you so much. And you are our final one for Friday's Singularity Storyteller Summit.
Yay.
Tomorrow we're going to have...
we have a busy day, right?
It's a huge... It's every almost 30 minutes there's going to be somebody. So the newsletter will be going out with all of the videos. Thank you, live viewers, for joining today. And then if you're a replay viewer, check out Emily's stuff. Take her mediumship course. Even if you just, like me, and just you watch the third video and you do a meditation, you'll still get so much from the experience. But, you know, get involved with this. Don't wait. Like Emily said, don't wait to take the leap. Even if it's a little step forward. Honor that little step forward. We'll celebrate with you. Baby steps. All right, Emily, well, have an amazing rest of your day, and we'll see each other all online.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.